Welcome again, everyone, to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll recap a busy home weekend for the Ferris State Bulldogs as Bulldog hockey, women's basketball, men's basketball, all in home action this past week. And we'll start with Bulldog hockey and joined by head coach Bob Daniels. And Coach, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, Rob.
A big weekend for the Bulldogs this past weekend. First home series in about a month, and had back-to-back sellout crowds as you took on the Northern Michigan Wildcats.
Yeah, well, the crowds were awesome, and I think back to the weather on Friday and Saturday night, not fit for man nor beast, and yet both nights sellouts and great crowds, and just shows you what great fans we have here in Ferris State University in Big Rapids. But it was terrific and gave us much needed lift coming back from the long trip to Fairbanks. It was good to get back in front. We hadn't been home since I don't know, like the first weekend of the second half of the year, so it was good to be back here and play in front of our home crowd.
Going into the weekend, Bulldogs with a great stretch here to start the second half of the season, and you extended that to 8 straight unbeaten on Friday night with a win, and then Saturday night another tough game, 3-2 setback, but a great weekend of hockey.
Yeah, it was a great weekend of hockey, and it was a big weekend that you alluded to earlier. Us in Northern are in the midst of, fighting it out for the last home ice spot for the playoffs, and we still have aspirations of maybe moving up further than fourth in the standings. So it was Friday nights was a big win. If either team had been able to sweep, pretty much would have cemented things, I think. Neither team was able to, but what I like though is we really haven't had a poor period of hockey since the very first period 10 games ago, and that's been it. We've played outstanding hockey, and even in the 3-2 loss, I really like the way we played. We went into the second period 0-0, and from that point on, we outshot the opposition 28-12. Now, we still lost 3-2, but it wasn't for a lack of play, and we don't always grade everything on the outcome of games. There's been times over the years where the outcome's been favorable to us, but we haven't played well, and we're not really excited about it, knowing that'll catch up with us. Conversely, there's nights when you're going to play really well. Dahlstrom for Northern Michigan, their goaltender, had an outstanding night, and we lost, but that's not to take anything away from the way we played. And as long as we continue to play as we have been for our past 9 games, just as we have done right there, we're going to win more than our share.
As we go to some of the highlights of Friday's game, a 5-1 Bulldog victory, and kind of a flip-flop of last weekend. Both teams in Alaska got a goal in the first minute. Here, both nights were scoreless in the opening period.
Yeah, and it wasn't for lack of scoring chances. I think both teams played really well. You'll see in the highlights here, we both get opportunities here in the first period. Both goaltenders played really well, and I think in this period we outshot them like 22-7, and it came out 0-0. I was nervous, though. I was like, God, are we going to find a way to score? And we finally get on the board here. Really big goal by Mitch Maloney, and the game, even though it comes out 5-1, it seemed much closer than that till very late in the game.
You get that opening goal, and then the Bulldogs will come back here. Andrew Durani's with the goal. As you had a big second period with 4 goals in the second period.
We really did, and a couple things. You're going to see a power play goal here. Now I think it's 4 or 5 straight games in which we scored a power play goal. Huge for us. And that's the one area we said we've got to, if we really want to make a run for the conference title here, we're going to have to get more goals in the power play. So that was good to see. And conversely, we haven't been scored shorthanded maybe 8 games now. That's unbelievable. So our special teams is now starting to come into form.
4-0 lead going into the third. We'll see Northern Michigan get the first goal of the night for them, but nonetheless, Darren Smith, a pretty nice night in net for you.
Yeah, terrific night. He played very well. It was, kind of sick when you see that go in because you're hoping that he can get his 3rd career shutout. Guys kept going, though. You can see here we're still getting scoring chances. Here's a goal by Jacob Hetz, just a tremendous shot. Picks the corner. You can barely see it going to the net. It's right where the goal post and the crossbar form a T, and you can't stop that.
We talked about the shots earlier. A big advantage here, 47-27 total shots, and in this win, and you had a big advantage all weekend long in terms of the total shots.
Yeah, we did, and that's good. I think we're approaching like 100 or plus 100 shots on goal in league now, and we like to pride ourselves and get a lot of pucks to the net, and that's a reflection too on possession time, and so we're really happy, and a lot of this is all coming the second half of the year. Now we still have some areas to tighten up, but I like where we're trending, I like where we're heading, and we got 3 big games coming up, so obviously we'll be tested there.
As you get the win on Friday night, you come back Saturday night, another great crowd on hand, and again, a scoreless opening period, although both teams had some shots on net here in the first period.
Yeah, this is probably the period when we give up the most amount of shots. Darren Smith made a number of big saves. Their guy made a number of big saves as well, and so it was kind of odd it came out scoreless, but really I felt very good leaving that period, because we did face Northern's best shot that period. I mean, that's as good as I think they can play, and they played exceedingly well this period. You'll see right out of the gate they get a couple good scoring chances, but from that point on, I thought played a great second and third, just couldn't get the equalizer.
One of the things we haven't talked about, the penalty kill, perfect on the weekend, is you were able to hold the other team scoreless with the man advantage.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, what I'd like to see, and this is really getting greedy, but I'd like to see us get a few more goals shorthanded. It doesn't mean I want to see us take more penalties, but I really would like to see us get a few more goals. We've traditionally had a few when we were shorthanded, so if we could do that, that'd just be icing on the cake.
Here you get the first goal of the game, Gerald Mayhew, with a great play here to get you on the board.
Yeah, nice pass by Brandon Anselmini, head manning it. This will be our power play goal this game to put us up 2-0 here. And you can see we're getting a lot of good looks, a lot of good chances. So beyond scoring, we're also, even on ones we don't score on, we get a lot of great opportunities. Here's just another one. So real happy with special teams, real happy with the penalty kill, certainly happy with the power play.
Chad McDonald with the goal right there. Gerald Mayhew had 3 points on the weekend. Corey Mackin with 4 assists on the weekend.
Yeah, it's good to see Corey starting to show up on the score sheet again, and deservedly so. This is probably a tough stretch for us late in the second here. We allow them to tie it. We're getting our chances still, but here's a case where we block a shot, just goes right in the guy's stick, and not much you can do on that. It just poor bounce for us.
Tied at 2 after 2 periods of play. Going into the third, we'll see Northern Michigan take the lead, and certainly not a place you want to be, but your team continued to battle, and we'll see some chances here at the end of the game.
Yeah, we get if we'd have gone back, we'll catch the last 2 minutes where we had a chance, and now we only got 6 seconds, but we had a number of chances with the goalie pulled. Here was one. I don't know how we missed the net there. Would have been a heck of a tie. Maybe a win in overtime. You never know. But regardless, like I say, you can't grade it off the score. You drive yourself crazy at times because you can't control the opposition goaltender. He had a great night, and it's the way it goes. But we did play well, and I feel good about our team as we move forward now.
As you move forward this week, the Bulldogs on the road in just a single game, and a game that doesn't mean anything in terms of the conference standings, but a big game nonetheless for your program and some of the kids involved on both sides taking on the University of Michigan.
Yeah, it is, and it is odd for us to have an on-conference game scheduled this late in the year. Generally, these are pretty much done by the time you hit the 1st of January, but it's an interesting game. Like you say, it means nothing in our standings, means nothing in their standings, but I'll tell you what, it'll be a hard-fought game. And Michigan's having an outstanding year. I think they're top 5 in the country right now. I haven't seen the latest polls come out yet, but they're having a whale of a season, and they have a really good team. So this is going to help us. We'll go into there. They're going to play at a speed that we haven't seen yet this year out of any team. They've got that much speed, so it'll be. I'll be interested to see how we react to it. And then, their arena is very much like ours. It's a really, really difficult place for an opposing team to come in and play, and I like that. I like the fact that we're going to go in there and throw it into the fire, and this is a test that we need, and one of those games where I can see, regardless of the outcome, some improvement in our team, and it'll test our team defense, and it'll show us little weaknesses we may have as we go to our stretch run and then into the playoffs, Rob.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs as you travel to Yost Ice Arena this Friday.
Thank you very much, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.